So can I ask you that? You just like look at me like,
Why are you gonna cut to that?
well, I'll make it funny.
Okay.
And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Kornelek.
And I'm Chris Kalazewski.
And Kings fans, it's been a hell of a day. Tippa King, we'll talk about that in a little bit. It is episode 77 entitled Technical Difficulties.
So it is a dreary night here in Los Angeles, but anything but dreary right now for the state of the Kings. Playing awesome.
Absolutely. 2 games, once against Tampa Bay, which is 1-0 game that was anything but boring, followed up by a 4-1 win over the Nashville Predators last night. Team's clicking on all cylinders.
Let's talk about the Thursday game against Tampa Bay. I mean, we're talking about a huge matchup, one of the earliest ones of the season. You have one of the best teams in the East playing one of the best teams in the West.
The best team in the West.
Yeah, they are definitely the best team, and it really showed on the ice. I mean, it felt like a playoff game. I mean, what a fantastic matchup. You had the young stars and Stamkos versus Doughty, and two very comparable teams, and the Kings pulled it out. They grinded it out. This is a game that normally, even last year as well as they played, that they totally would have lost.
I want to talk first about Steve Downey, who got hit by Drew Doughty in open ice, which was fantastic to see.
Oh, yeah.
Later in the game, Steve Downey takes a huge run at Drew Doughty. If he had connected with him, Chris, it would have been a suspension. Drew Doughty could have had another concussion. It looked really bad. Drew Doughty, of course, avoids the check and, starts jawing to Steve Downey a little bit. And who steps in to stick up for him but Willie Mitchell? I mean, this guy's been great defensively all season long. I know it's a short season, but the character that this guy exudes is pretty amazing.
Stepped in there, stood up for his teammates, and held his own. It was a little dance. It really wasn't many fights, many punches thrown, but whatever. He stood up for his teammate, and it just shows like how tight this team is, and that was just an awesome move right there.
Doesn't it seem like they really like each other genuinely?
Oh, I think they're BFFs.
Totally BFFs.
Yeah.
Blood brothers, maybe.
So last night at Staples Center, the Kings played another team that's actually playing really well this year, as usual, and that's the Nashville Predators. Now, normally, when it's a Saturday and the Kings are playing the Preds at Staples Center, it's almost a guaranteed loss.
100%.
But this is a game that was actually over in the second period when it was 4-0 Kings, which is great to see.
Yeah, I mean, again, I keep it, and maybe it's the fact that we've been fans for so long, Chris, and have gone through all this losing that, my ego is really fragile when it comes to the Kings. Like, well, we've won 3 in a row, or we're perfect at home.
You're expecting
a loss.
I think everyone in there thought that I would definitely expect a loss. Every time we play the Preds, in the past, we just haven't matched up well against them. But talk about the game last night. I mean, that's about as balanced scoring you can get. I mean, yeah, the third and fourth line didn't get on the score sheet, but they didn't need to. You had a goal from Kopitar and Brown, and you had a goal for Stoll and Smith. I mean, there you go. Perfect. That's a great team right there. Those top 2 lines clicking, even with Parson on that top line now.
Well, let's not jump on the whole Scott Parson bad.
No.
Not yet, but yeah, I mean, it's a team that really has it together. And, prior to the game, Chris, Ryan Smith playing in his 1000th game, the team honored him by skating into practice all wearing mullets.
That's one of the coolest things I have ever seen the Kings in the 6 years that we've been covering the Kings. I mean, how cool is that to really show your respect for a team like that? And it was silly. It was one of those things that you would expect from a team as tight-knitted as the Kings. I mean, what a fantastic moment last night.
And apparently they skated onto the ice at Staples Center with them and threw them during their pregame skate, which was, just awesome. This team has so many positive qualities that I disagreed at the beginning of the year, but the sky might be the limit for the Kings.
Yeah, I think so too. And one of the big question marks, obviously, is the line mate, the left winger for that top line. It's still TBD right there with Parson there, who held his own, I thought, the last 2 games. And my other big question mark was Jonathan Bernier. Obviously he's going to be playing a lot more this year. Quick will not be playing 75 games or whatever this year again. So they're really going to count on him, and he's been a little shaky so far, but came within 2.5 minutes of a shutout last night.
It might take a couple of games we're not the Canadian media who anointed him, way back in, before the puck even dropped.
Yep.
But Jonathan Bernier is a good goaltender. Will he be the number 1 for the Kings in a couple of years? It remains to be seen. Probably. That said, he needs a couple games to warm up, and he's really starting to get it. I mean, in that game against the Atlanta Thrashers, that third period was all Jonathan Bernier.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see more of that, and, a well-rested Quick is a good Quick. So, I mean, goaltending tandems, maybe one of the best in the league. I think my only complaint with the Los Angeles Kings, Chris, is the fact that because they're so good, we have less things to make fun of them about. So it's less comedic material for us.
Well, yeah, it's very, very hard to cover it. I mean, obviously, back in the day, Dan Cloutier, Sean Avery, and all the other guys we used to make fun of, it was so easy.
Goldmine.
This is getting tough.
It is.
We are winning and awesome, that we can say at KingsCast. So Tippa King 2010 at LA Live took place today, and this is a fantastic charity event. Great time for fans to come out, get your picture taken with the players, get your jersey autographed, get number 500 on there. But what a great event.
It was a great event, and we were fortunate enough to be credentialed members of the media, I think the only media outside of King's Vision that was at Tippa King. And guys, we had a great show for you, I'm not going to lie. But we have to offer an apology. We had some serious audio issues.
Not to mention, it's very, very loud there, and you got David Courtney, the in-game announcer there. So did have some issues. We admit it. It is what it is. But did have a chance, learned some great things from players today. So check out what is usable.
Let's talk serious here. You broke David Coach's jaw in the preseason and haven't been able to find a dance partner. However, Justin Williams now has more fighting majors than you. Are you concerned about this?
Yeah. You're very popular with the ladies. You see a lot of "Marry Me, Drew" signs out there. Any message to them?
I guess thank you. But besides that, I really don't know what to say. It's nice to have some fans like that as well.
We just spoke with Kevin Westgarth, who's a little concerned. You do have more fighting majors than him on the season. Are you trying to take over the enforcer role at the Kings?
Yeah, you know what? I'll do whatever I need to do out there.
The second line, you're now nicknamed the Geezer line, which is crazy because I think I'm a year or two older than you. How did that name come about?
I don't know. We're actually very fond of the name. A couple of guys maybe for Smitty anyway. 1,000 games.
All right, Kings fans, I know you think we're perfect, and we pretty much are infallible. But on this one, sometimes you get the GOAT, sometimes the GOAT gets you.
That's right.
All right, so Kings fans, your question of the day, if you were at Tippa King, is who did you meet and who was your favorite player to kind of interact with? Leave your comments, as always, downstairs.
Another big break for the Kings, off another 4 days before they play... Who the hell do they play on Thursday? Chicago, which should be a fantastic matchup. Obviously, very tight game last time they played at the United Center in Chicago. So looking forward to seeing this 10-3 Kings team that has 20 points, tops in the league still, play another solid team against what could be a possible future playoff opponent.
All right, so we'll be back at you real soon. I'm Keith Kordelik.
And I'm Chris Kalaszewski.
And thank you for watching Overtime by KingsCast.